Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is Thursday, a little outside the usual schedule, but I wanted to squeeze this in for this week because we are going to be going back to Kdenlive today. For those who missed it was about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. I poked at Kdenlive to try and explore it and see if it could be like my video editor that I use because, I mean, the experiment with GIMP was so successful. Maybe I could just migrate most of my production workflow to open source. That first stream didn't go so well, though. Not as well as I expected. But I have picked up some new things since then, and I'm excited to explore that in this stream and answer a couple burning questions. Let's get into it. Second brain like a drunk person yelling Mr. Brightside. It's a good song. It's worth chanting, you know? Right. Let me test a button real quick. I'm setting up some new macros on my Stream Deck. Wonderful. That works. You can go back and forth and back and forth. Awesome. Good to know that the buttons work. Stream Deck on Linux is a little bit awkward because Elgato has like no fucking support on Linux. So pretty much your only option is getting third-party software that hooks into the Stream Deck and it allows you to connect to WebSockets. And then you have to get a WebSocket plugin in OBS. And it's a bit, you know, Elgato, my worst enemy. Here's the thing. The Stream Deck was my first streaming investment all the way back in like 2019 or 2020, around that area. And that was like, yeah, because I want to do streaming. It's cool. It's fun. I want to like get stuff that's going to make that a lot more powerful for me, like optimize my workflow and all that jazz. So I got the Stream Deck and it was awesome. And I remember I spent so much time like tweaking it out and customizing it with all sorts of buttons and whatever. And right now I just don't have the same passion because it is a little awkward to work with, but I'm starting to lean into it now, especially with the Ergo Split keyboard because my Stream Deck fits so nicely right in between the two halves of my keyboard. It's so nice. Yeah, I got that in 2019. I did more recently actually get what card is this? I got a capture card from them because I specifically needed a capture card that supports some specific fancy USB video thing that has the best support on Linux in terms of capture cards. So I got a Game Capture 4K-S. And it works sometimes, which is about the experience I had with the last capture card I had that was fucking $20 off Amazon. So fuck me, I guess. Whatever. I'm sure I can figure it out. It's probably just some weird config issue I need to fix. Doohickey on top, baby. Let's go. Right, let me say hi to everyone in chat. Hello, Jish. Hello, Aquafolly. Hello, Julia. Hello, May. Hello, Alvi. Hello, Isopod. Hello, Dagger. Hello, 68K. Is that fine? 68? RoboGirl? Which is more convenient? That is everyone, I believe. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Right. Thankfully, I am pretty prepared because this doesn't involve launching a game. I can kind of just send it. Let me put these screens in the background because I don't need them there. And let me actually quickly get my live view up and running because I don't have my music player on here properly. And listen here, buddy. Kdenlive is no game. Here we are. Right. Please do excuse the highly compressed doodle over here. I actually tried to take advantage of Kdenlive's proxy clips, and that is one of the things that I have nice to say. This is a very low quality proxy clip, but it will do fine for what I'm trying to do today. And boy, is scrubbing the timeline fast now. It was not this fast when I was at it yesterday. Also, I realize you might not be able to hear this. Let me test something real quick. Yep, you just can't fucking hear that, so I have to fix that now. Let's put the music back on while we wait. Music? Maybe? Which button on my keyboard plays the music again? Oh, it just... Okay, my media keys just don't work again. That's fine. That's okay. They worked literally just a second ago, but I guess I can, you know, I'm asking for too much. Wait, I just had a moment of realization. Is the reason that that doesn't work because I'm in, like, an X11 application? Like X-Wayland? Uh-oh. I didn't think about that. That might be, like, eating my global keybinds that I've set in my desktop environments. That's not great. Well, shit. Anyways, no tech. Okay, no, hold on. Something might be wrong here. I don't think these should say no text. That doesn't make sense. Hello? And where are settings? We're off to a fantastic start, everyone. I remember we were having audio issues in the last stream. Thankfully, I don't know if we have a crackle yet. We wouldn't know because we haven't gotten audio yet. Oh, that's project settings, though. Where's the, like, app settings? I'm gonna guess like this. Oh. Cool. It was under a bind. I couldn't find it anywhere else. Playback. Audio backend. Oh, wait, is it SDL? Is that what the SDL application here was? Oh, fucking don't go to TTS sync. What are you doing? I'm not using TTS. There we go. Wonderful. You can actually hear this now. Unlocalized language strings. Yay! Miss a few things. I want to move to Linux, but I recently bought a capture card and I don't think it has support on Linux. Yeah. Capture cards are a little awkward. You are looking for something that supports like a particular... It's USB video or USB something video. I don't know. But so long as it supports that, it should work. And if it doesn't work, then you might be missing a piece of software or something. But it should be supported by someone somewhere. Elgato Camera Hub crashes literally all the time for no reason on me. Sometimes I'll just be using my browser and it crashes. That's so awesome. And I'm assuming you're on Windows, right? Because there's no fucking way you're getting Camera Hub working on Linux. That would be interesting. If I had a nickel for every pixel in this RE-Doodle, I'd have 2 nickels. Yeah, on Windows as well. That's upsetting. That's very unfortunate. Right. So, to recap, I actually took down a list of my problems with Kdenlive. I have a whole list over here. I really just shouldn't be opening file explorers on my main monitor, so I'll keep that in mind for future. I think that was fine, though. Yeah, that was fine. Y'all got any more of them doodles? Right. Okay. Problems I've had with Kdenlive. I had 2 crashes last stream. Hopefully we don't have any more. I had weird bugs when it came to stacked effects. Yeah, so certain video effects will just disable the other because I guess they're not supported, or they'll just do nothing. I'm not sure exactly what the logic is behind that, but it's bad. It shouldn't affect the effects that I want to use, but for some of the more esoteric ones, I might run into problems. Buggy in general? Yeah, sure. No ripple delete. This I did answer. Yes, we have ripple delete. It is under a different workflow, though. So, for some background, what I am used to in DaVinci Resolve is... And can I just mute this for the time being? Because we don't actually need to be hearing playback for this. Tell you what, yeah, we'll just... Hello? Bro! Let me change the volume, please, I beg you. Okay, here we are. 10% will do. So I will jog the timeline with J, K, and L. K will pause, L will go forward, and J will go backwards. And I can hit this key repeatedly to go faster through the timeline. It's pretty nice. And what I would generally do is I think I would do, I do a cut under playhead, and then I do another, not cut under playhead, but more like trim from left, like a trim left side bind, but it's a ripple cut as well. It's a ripple trim. So what happened is like this would all get, oh God, hold on, new keyboard as well. So bear with me. This would get trimmed to the left and then shifted back here, which is like perfect cut. Really, really nice. That is not how it works in Kdenlive, and for that reason, I thought that it didn't work, period, because I'm pretty sure that's how it works in like every other editing software that has ripple functions. So Kdenlive's approach instead makes heavy use of this in-out zone, this little blue bar up here, and this is critical. If I go, let's say I want to cut out, what even is in this? Is this important dialogue? Do I want to keep this? We'll actually preview the clip this time. Give me 50%.
All right. There's a bladder infection waiting to happen. Fuck me.
Okay, cool. I need to turn that music because it's way too loud. In fact, no, I'm just going to turn up this to compensate. I think my volume is too loud in general, and I'm thinking it's way louder than it actually is. Also, we'll turn that down a smidge. Yeah, so what I want to do here is I want to press I to set the in point for my range. You can see the range here has now moved to where my playhead is. And then I'm going to jog forward to where this silence ends. Right around here. There. And I'll press O to set the out point. So you can see it's changed again. And then the bind is, I don't remember, but it is under here. Extract timeline zone, I think. Or is it lift timeline zone? I think it's Shift X. Do that. Oh, I did Control X, my bad. And there it is. Perfect cut. And it snaps it right back. This is exactly what I was looking for when I was complaining about no ripple delete. It totally exists. It was just a skill issue. One of the workflows of all time. Yeah, I was skeptical at first because I'm like, oh, but that means I can't use the in-out points for other things. What am I using in and out points for when I'm like cutting a clip other than for marking ranges? Probably nothing. So it's kind of a nothing burger. It's whatever. Like the only other time I generally use in and out points is to mark what I want to render. And I'm usually not doing that while I'm doing cut edits. So like, who cares, right? It's fine. So yeah, thankfully that is a solved problem. Effector Cursed Melting Pot. Look, it's open source software and people just wanted to contribute. They got excited, so we have like several thousand fucking edge blend effects and whatever. Can't change project resolution while inside the project. Yeah, this was a bit mid. Hopefully it's not in one of the no texts here. But if I go to... Oh yeah, project settings. Here we are. Wait. Is it letting me do it now? Wait. Portraits. And if I do this? Ah. Okay, it's not recommended. Maybe it is supported now. I could have sworn I wasn't able to do this before. It might have been a skill issue, though, to be honest. Maybe it's sequence. It might have been the sequence that I was having trouble with. Clip properties, no. Okay, I know this might have been it. Do I... Nope, it's not in here. Audio mixer, that's certainly not it. Although, what does that look like? Oh, it looks like an audio mixer. Huh, go figure. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's an option at all. There's clip properties, which is empty. I don't understand why this would be empty. This seems bizarre, but sure. It's got timecode offsets, and that's basically it. So yeah, I cannot change a sequence resolution, at least, by the looks of it, which is, I think DaVinci Resolve has the same problem, so I'm not going to complain too much. Can't have sequences with varying resolutions in a project. So I think this is an issue still. Let's find out. And sequence? Yeah, this is all that I get to configure. I get to change the sequence name, the number of video tracks, the number of audio tracks, and I should be thankful I even got that. This is not good if I want to work on a video and say I'm doing a long form video and then I want to, in the same project, get a whole bunch of shorts together using clips that I've already edited together. This was the workflow for the peak video and it was great. And Kdenlive says, no, you can't do that. What, are you fucking crazy? So that's very unfortunate. And I don't think there's a workaround for this. Needs on-the-fly text tools. So this is the biggest problem I have. And I'm really hoping I might be able to figure this out today. Or maybe I realize that this isn't actually a thing and I'm asking for a feature that doesn't exist. So, titles are insufficient for adding lots of text throughout a project. So more than it's insufficient speed-wise. I know insufficient is not the word I should have used there, but I will try and describe what it is I'm talking about. After Kdenlive is done crashing? Okay. So let's just tick that number up one. Best to ever do it, baby. Best to ever do it. Let's go back. Good grief. Come on. Autosave? Nah, we're fine. This is barely touched. Yeah. So, what was I doing again? Yeah, text, of course. Control to move around. Middle click to, yeah. Kdenlive. Hello, EXO. Yeah, because we're both Linux, so you've maybe had to dick around with this before. Pray tell, what is your video editor of choice, if any? Surely you have one. You do make YouTube videos. That's literally how I found you. I use this to make you... Oh, shit. Currently? At present? Okay. I'm curious what you have to say about some of the thoughts that I have. If you weren't here for the first stream. I don't like it, but I mean, yeah. It's a begrudging relationship. I understand. So, yeah. My two biggest problems that I've had was a lack of ripple deletes, which it turns out we actually do have. It's just under a different workflow, and I'm actually delighted with the workflow. This little like in and out points thing makes a lot of sense, and I like it. It's cool. This is fine. I'm happy with that. My problem is text currently. These subtitles that come up are pretty key to my style. And let's be real, I'm a fucking VTuber. I need to have captions to show every single thing that I am saying, or that is being said. This is just the way. We've all agreed now that this is just the minimum bar for VTubing, particularly on YouTube. So my problem is that this is a title. And I'll show you the process for making just one of these, right? So I've made a template, so I'm actually going to save a little bit of effort here. Let's try and, just for the sake of example, put a caption over this dialogue. What am I saying here? It is time to drink water. Okay, cool. Do I have snapping enabled? Where is snapping? 1 minute. I need to remember how to enable snapping. Is it this? No, that's a preview render. Is it this? Mouse zoom on playhead. No. Where's snapping? Oh, wait, snapping is enabled. Well, it sure doesn't fucking look like it. Oh, right. The clip snap, but the playhead does not. The playhead is above such things. Of course. How could I forget? Yeah, so I've never figured out how to use a subtitle feature, so I'm not even actually doing subtitles in this case. I can do. I'm pretty sure I have them enabled. Do not use timeline zone for insert. I don't know what that means. Oh, wait. I do know what that means, but I'll leave that as it was for now. Not sequence. Where? Come on, I had the button. Oh, subtitles. Yeah, here we are. The subtitles layer. I did explore this briefly. The way I understand it is you can, well, in theory, you can use a machine learning model to like interpret everything you're saying and essentially transcribe it. And then it'll time it automatically, and you can have that exported as like an AS file. I love the AS file. And you can upload that with your video to give it immediate native subtitles, which is really, really cool. In theory, but unfortunately, it didn't work. Maybe it was a skill issue, but it did not work for me. How would I even... Is this the thing for it? Automatic subtitling. Okay, yeah. For fucking fun, right? We're actually going to do this now before I do my regular subtitling. Timeline zone. We're going to do in point here, out point here. Can I move this to... There we are. Yeah, see, that snaps. Why does the playhead snap? That just makes sense. If I have snapping enabled, snap the goddamn playhead. All right. Timeline zone, all tracks. Yeah, wait, selected track is what I want, right? Maybe that was the problem. Maybe I just had the wrong track. Let's try this. Okay. Language, we're going to help it out here. We're going to say English. If I can find it. Here it is. Maximum characters per line 42. That's fine. Model turbo, it's the only one that exists. Process. Let's see how this works. I don't actually know where it's processing this. My GPU, according to the meter, that just went up like crazy on my other screen. Oh, good. Speech recognition failed. Oh, God. Oh, good heavens. Pray tell, what do we have going on here? Oh, I don't know, because I can't resize this fucking window. Well, that's great. Hold on. Yeah, that's another thing. This is... a really, really bad error dialogue. Like, holy bad. Hello? No, not that. This? This? How do I open a new tab? I don't remember. Muscle memory's not helping me. Whatever, we're doing this. Okay, cool. What do we got going on here? Huh? Oh. Oh. I'm out of memory. I don't have enough GPU memory. Oh. Oh dear. How bad are we talking? What? I have so much memory! What do you mean? Also, why is my GPU working this hard? Kdenlive can't be using that much with the proxy footage, right? It wants 20, but you have 48 free. Exactly! Including non-PyTorch memory, this processes 4.65 gigabytes of memory in use. Of the allocated 4.31 gig. Oh, sorry. Of the allocated memory, 4.31 is allocated by PyTorch. Okay. Well, I don't want to dick around with that right now. I just want to edit videos. So we're going to ignore that and just say that it doesn't work, because the average user is going to say this doesn't work and leave it at that. So fuck it. I'm going to allow myself to be an average normie user for a minute. The error message makes 0 sense. Yep. Keep in mind, this didn't work last time I tried it, and I think it was for the same reason, so whatever, man. All right, let's try and actually caption something manually, because that's the only method we have, apparently. It is time to drink water. Let's add a clip, a template title. I think I already have my subtitle text here. I made a template earlier, so that's great. There. Let me drop it in. Now, you might have noticed something happen off the side of my screen. I will just quickly fit this here first. Actually, wait, is that? Oh shit, I moved. Well, this is awkward. Where's the effects again? No, not that. That's not what I'm looking to do. Where are effects? Control E, Shift E. Trying to press binds, hoping it'll pull something up. Okay, no, that's just reset the editing workflow. But where's my effects? I guess I want transform. Yeah. Oh, this is effects. Right, I completely changed my layout since the last stream. I completely forgot. My bad. Cool, we'll put this here. It's kind of in the way of the watermark, but whatever, wee ball. So, I actually put this here. Okay, cool. The watermark? Oh my god. Yeah, so problem is at this point, so we have the text down here. I'll mention the first thing. So you might have noticed off to the side when I generated this, we now have a media clip for this, and that is because this is a title. And titles, if you are familiar with various video editing softwares, titles do not work like just throwing text on the thing. It is an entire clip that I then need to put somewhere in my project bin, and of course it doesn't automatically drop it into my massive text folder that's already got all of these. I say massive, it's only got a couple, but in a long form video, I would have to be dealing with potentially hundreds of these. And I have to organize them in here every single time I make new ones. I could maybe batch deploy or batch move them around, but that's still a pain in the ass, right? So I have to do all of that. And then this little, you might be able to notice here, the text kind of pops in very briefly. It has a little zoom. I want that to happen at the beginning of every bit of dialogue. So now what I have to do is I have to go to this transform. I think I also made a preset for this for what it's worth. RE text pop in. Great. Oh no. Now it's positioned somewhere else. Oh no. And because it doesn't zoom from center, this means that the position is now changed, which means I have to either put another transform on this to shift it or completely rejig the existing preset over here. It's not a great experience, if you couldn't tell. Yes, I have this problem also, and if I want to change the style, I have to update all of them individually. I didn't even think about that. To be fair, I think I would probably have to do that in... No, for the peak video, which I made in DaVinci Resolve, I think I was able to make my own templates, and then separate templates then for each individual other person. That's essentially the same text, but in a color that I've chosen for them. And in that case, I'm pretty sure I was able to update the template and immediately have it reflect on all of the clips because they're just derived. Which, if you're making text from a template, I would think you'd want it to follow the template, no? I must be crazy. No one's asking for this. Does this have 2 transforms on it? It does have 2 transforms on it. One of them is the keyframes. One of them is decorative? Yeah, it's decorative. Okay, then what's this doing here? Also decorative? Did I just paste this a bunch of times and not realize? Oh boy, okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah, whatever. So, you can see how this is gonna be an awkward experience. And I think unless I can figure out an alternative to this, but what it's sounding like is that there isn't. This is kind of just it. This is as good as, you know, dropping text in your timeline is in Kdenlive. This is why I was thinking maybe I just use like a separate application literally just to do that as like a pass. Say like in Kdenlive, I'm just doing cuss editing. Because I've heard some people say outright, Kdenlive is not a compositor. That's not what it's meant for. It's not a VFX tool. It is for just editing some videos, like cutting it together. And that's okay. But I'm going to need something then to do that final pass. And I'm like, okay, well, what apps do I have that are good at compositing on that work on my system? DaVinci Resolve, of course, has compositing, but it also has video editing, and at that stage, I might as well just use it. Game engines. True. The only other thing I can think of is Blender, which, don't get me wrong, I'm actually down to use Blender in like VFX passes, but for lots of text, for like lots of varying text, I don't know about that one. I really don't know about that one. Maybe the kind of text editing workflow that I want can be achieved in Blender, but I am not holding my breath on that one. I'm not entirely convinced, to be real with you. Blender and Elise stays winning. I tried that before. I stopped trying after a while. It wasn't great. It's worse than my Kdenlive experience, from what I can remember. Unironically, I thought about making a video editor in Godot. That could be fire, maybe. When you've already got all the UI components set out for you, that's pretty nice. And I mentioned before with Kdenlive, one of the really unfortunate things about it is that it is like, it's a open source project, so it's kind of community maintained. KDE, the organization that helms, they have so much in the line of resources, and they already have a lot of other applications they have to maintain, notably the fucking desktop environments that I'm using this in, and I wouldn't want to pull their work away from that. But I'd also love to see a Kdenlive quality of life update that just has like a whole bunch of really nice changes and whatever. Audio stutter? Oh no, really? You're kidding. If we have that, I'll actually restart stream. I'm not dealing with that shit. I can't. Oh fuck, that means I'd have to relog out of my system. I'd have to restart Pipewire, I think. Wait, yeah, no, I could just restart Pipewire. I forgot I'm not on Void Linux anymore. I could just do fucking systemctl for this. What are the chances this works? I'm not going to do this right now. I'll leave that on the back burner. It's gone now, I think. Yeah, okay. But yeah, if that does happen, I might have a solution. Damn, what was up with Void Linux? I didn't have systemd, so I couldn't just run this command. I actually had to restart my entire desktop. Or restart my session. I had to log out, log back in. So yeah, that's what was different. It was pretty different. Systemd, my beloved, I guess. Yeah. Something bloat, but like whatever, man. Yeah, it was Runit. And I liked a lot of things about Runit, but it was also not super powerful in pretty key ways. Also, systemd is just the main supported thing, so it's easier to find software that plays nice with it. Whereas with Runit, you have to... If you're using Runit, you usually have to build some weird compatibility whatever, or some script that hooks into it, a wrapper. I don't know, it's weird. Ooh. We have a slight problem. And it's not workflow-wise. Well, it might be workflow-wise by the end of this. I didn't get a crazy amount of sleep last night, to be completely honest with you. So I'm not sure how much energy I'm going to have to actually work on this. But the show must go on. So I think I'm going to say fuck it, we ball, and actually see how much we can get done. One of the things I would like to figure out, though, as well, at this point, we're getting into the creative stuff, right? I'm not going to hammer on about Kdenlive's deficits too much here. I'll be real, I might end up redoing this in DaVinci Resolve. I don't know. We'll see. But I do want to at least figure out, okay, what is this short going to be paced like, you know? So we all know, we the knowers, you and I, we know about the drink water bit. We know it's when it's time to drink water. We know when it's time to drink water, and we know the significance of being told to drink all of the water, for those of you who've been there for those streams, which is most of you, I reckon. But the average viewer on YouTube, who's never seen me before, is not going to know what that means.
It's time to drink water.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. That was going to happen. It was Aquafolly too. I was thinking it was going to be Aquafolly. Thank you. Yes, it is time to drink water. You know the deal. If you have water with you, you should drink it. And if you don't have water, you should go get some because water is good for you. Damn good thing too. That's actually waking me up a little bit. That's good. I would have done it, but I'm almost done saving for the big one. Oh no. Oh no. That's scary. Right. Okay. So, yeah, story. That's important. Even for a little short, it is important. In fact, it may be more important because we only have so much time to actually tell the story. 49,000 points. 44.6. Oh, wallahi, I'm cooked. Oh, no. Okay, well, anyways. Moving on. Yeah, I described the problems with the text tools. I don't think we have a solution to this, I'll be real. I've not heard of one. I'm not going to go searching for one right now, but if anyone here knows or knows where to look, I guess that would be appreciated. But I'm going to guess that there isn't such a thing, and that has to be implemented. Because everything here is a clip. In order for Kdenlive to support something like this, I know you would need to like have a different kind of clip that doesn't appear in the project bin and just has like, because here's what I want, right? What I want in essence, if I were to actually write the feature request for this, is the text itself is an effect. And I actually think we have a text effect in here. Dynamic text. We throw this on. Yeah, dynamic text. We get to pick our font family. We get to pick all sorts of stuff. So let's say I use Laura, personally. I think that's got a time code for some reason. Oh, yeah, it does. It is time to drink water. There we go. So I can do that. I can pull the font size up. It eventually just stops, which is interesting. Okay. Cool. We can do new lines, though. That's fine. We'll center align it. We're going to get rid of the background there. We're not using that. How do I get rid of the background? I don't know. There's a background there, though. What's the outline? I guess black, yeah. Foreground color, make that white. This should probably be bold. Okay, cool. That's fine. Padding. Yeah, you could kind of see, just barely. Oh, wait, chat's in the way. Apologies. I'm going to move y'all down here, maybe. I think that might work a bit better. Oops. I'll move myself here. Yeah, that should work for now. Insert a keyword. Oh, well, that's handy. Vertical alignment, middle, I guess. Oh, yeah, that's even easier to see. You could kind of just barely see. There's a dark box that's forming around this, and I don't want that. But the background color is already set to... What? Can I change the opacity? Oh, alpha channel. 0. Oh, okay. Oh, no. Wait. That was foreground. My mistake. I goofed. I goosed it. I thought it was weird. It said 255. The background isn't that bright. Oh, yeah, here we are. Alpha channel 0. Cool. So I can get rid of that. That's good. Outline 255. Great. Outline width Here's our problem. Is that all you've got? This is all of the outline that we have in the budget. Let's try something else. In fact, okay. Before I proceed, actually, because you're getting the idea, right? I can add effects on here, and that gets me kind of what I'm looking for. And the idea is that I just be able to like copy and paste from a source, and base all of my edits off of a template. Basically, is what I'm getting at. Let's do this. Oh, right, tab doesn't bring me through the options because that would be too convenient. Alpha channel 255. Blur radius. So new problem. I don't want a blur radius. I just wanted to kind of expand, you know? Do I have outline? Maybe. Maybe this is what I want, actually. Let's find out. Oh. Wait, huge? Ooh. This could be huge. Hold on, I need to compare. Yeah, let's say it's like 12 or something. That's not enough. Oh god. Oh, what are you doing? No. New keyboard. I knew it was gonna come back to haunt me. That's definitely too much. 15. Now that looks down near serviceable, actually. Okay, cool. Just pretend the top text isn't there. We only care about the bottom one. So that's actually kind of like what I'm looking for, right? In terms of like how this is stacked. So I drop on an empty layer that has my dynamic text effects where I can type in what I like, and then I have my outline separate. This is okay. I'm actually all right with this. So you'd think, well, Ari, why don't you just do that? There's a slight problem. I'm not aware of how to get a transparent clip that I could put, because keep in mind, again, this has to be put on a clip somewhere. I can make a solid, I think, but I don't think I can make it transparent. Yeah, there's no alpha channel here. And I don't think I can just fuck around with blending modes. Like, okay, let's say I make it green. Oh, shy added transparent. And so we'll do a green. We'll make it so green. Such a green clip. And can I just like shift drag? Yeah, I could just add these on. Cool. It is time to drink water. Where's my outline? Why do I not have outline? Oh. Right. I don't have outline because the clip, this full bound, is taking the outline. That's why. So I would need, like... Oh, fuck, man. No, not an object mask. I don't even know what that is. Effects enabled. Yeah, no, that's not helping me. I need, like, oh, yeah. Chroma key, maybe? And let's pin you to this. Wait. Is that it? Did I just do the thing that I wanted? Do I just have a working text clip now? No. No, there's no way. There's no way I actually got it down that quickly. Holy shit. Wait. Okay, so let's do... From this here. This clip looks really fucking weird, but I can kind of excuse it. For now, anyways. Green screening text into a scene is a fascinating choice. But, like, if it works... Yeah? Oh, I can probably get rid of this. Oh, I should probably align these, shouldn't I? So we have transform. Let's add another. There's no way. It's so this is still incredibly hacky. I will definitely need to make sure I have presets out the ass for this. But like, no, there are things I could complain about. I can't change the line height here, it seems. That's an L for sure. Oh wait, is this a line height problem? Wait, one second. Let's do... Just time to drink water. And scale that text a bit. This might be it. Dare I say it? This is very finicky. I'm just trying to do like comparison and get it as close as I can. Is this like 120 then? Oh shit, yeah, that's it. Okay. So that's the text. We'll say like minus 470. Just line it up. Yep. Okay. There's no way. There's no way that I actually just did it. Oh god. We're gonna save. I can feel the struggling. Whoa! Whoa, dude! Hold on. Don't tell me you can't handle 2 transforms. Oh, fuck. Oh. Okay, man. Where did I lose you? Be real. Are we fucking serious? That's computationally expensive for you, yeah? That's where the threshold is? What if I swap these? Yeah, so the scaling is like from a completely different anchor point, which is bad for starters, but like... we actually not support this? I'm astounded that chroma key was required for this. I feel like it would save this if I didn't need it. No, what? Hold on. No. Outline? Outline and 2 transforms. You're kidding me. Wait, so if I have the rest of this on? Okay, no. What do you mean? 2 transforms on top of an outline causes that much of a slowdown? I don't get it. I don't understand. Please make it make sense. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. This software is so perplexing. Well, that's fine. Okay, great. So you can make text like the way that I normally do it, albeit very different workflow. Just don't ever need to move it, because then you're fucked. Wait. Thought. Let's go here. Okay. What are the scale parameters for this? This is important. X position. What are we doing? Okay, I'll be real. No, I can't read that. Oh, it's a... yeah, it's 210% scaling. 1, 2, 3 frames in, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So at the 3rd frame, we hit maximum size, and then on the 10th frame, we go back to base. Tell you what, I think I can make that work. Let's see. How do I keyframe interpolation? Let's make that cubic out, actually. How do I keyframe? Hello? Do I have to click here? Oh, I do. Oh boy. That's yeah. We'll double click when my hand's gonna be the least accurate. 1, 2, 3. Oh fuck. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Can I zoom in here? I can't zoom in there. Oh man. Okay. What is this even? Do I need another point here? Wait, what is it? What is scaling between? Oh fuck, I deleted the text. No. Delete keyframe. Previous keyframe. Okay, let's say scale 0. I don't think I wanted 0. Does this start 0? It does start 0. Okay. Very well. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's roughly 10 frames out. Kind of hard to keep track. I think that is. Keyframe. We'll do that. And then we'll set this one to 110. Whoa. Okay, hold on. What is this? What? Okay. What do you mean? It flashes a whole bunch of shit every time this happens. Because that's when the keyframes are active, I guess? Oh, yeah. So here's another fun thing about Kdenlive. It's not a keyframe per setting. It's a keyframe for all of the settings. That's another thing that, like, oh, man. Ugh. Blender's keyframes are actually fantastic, by the way. Really tempting me towards that. That's going to give me a seizure. I need to stop looking at that. Okay. So let's say, but I do not recommend. Is that... Wait, no, that's not even doing the jump anymore. Wait. Why aren't you changing scale? I gave you the... What? I gave you the keyframes. Some of you just don't affect scale. Wait, no. What do you mean? It's just the bounds? What? Oh, shit, dude. This is so scuffed. Okay. What do you do with that? I said before, going into Kdenlive, and I said the same thing with GIMP, and it worked with GIMP, so I'm going to hold Kdenlive to this. We are not going to compromise on my art style. I need to be able to do the things I want to do. I don't care if it's in a different way, but I need to be able to do the things that I already do in this software, or it's a non-starter. And I'm genuinely thinking, do I even have the text pop in at this point? Like, no, it's a nice stylistic detail. I have to keep it. And I just realized the doodle crashed. That makes sense. That's Doodle, by the way. She crashed. We're moving her over here. Oh, good heavens. I'm too tired for this shit. I'll queue it up, Buckfitty. Why the lag so much? It crackles so bad. That's not just you. That is me as well. I'm getting shit on. Okay. We're going to power through. We might have something here. Something of a text workflow. Wait, no. Don't tell me. Oh, right. This fucking thing. I can't just, like, click and... What? Okay. I pressed Z by accident. What does Z do then? What? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I can't duplicate a clip by just like holding a modifier and dragging it. That's a huge L. All right, whatever. Yeah. And then, oh my god, I'm so sorry. This keyboard is gonna make this so much more fun. Wait, now you do scaling? And it looks shit. Wait, because you never go back down to... Oh, no, right, because the bounce thing. It's just not doing 110%, that's why. Nah, no, we're not doing that. I think... Okay, let's review our options. I'm gonna at least add a couple more bits of text here just to get a feel, because I gotta at least get more of a feel here. Let's stretch this here. Jish, if you're still in chat, you make shorts pretty often. What do you think of this workflow? It's really great. Oh my god. And it looks so flimsy as well the way I'm doing it, because it's in an editor that I'm less familiar with, that I'm having so much trouble with, on a keyboard with an ortholinear split ergo layout that I've never used in my entire life. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. That. Remembering where shift is. You copy paste here. Oops. And this here. There we go. This is definitely like hurting the style, the art style here. Like I will not have the energy in me to polish this up as nicely as I normally would. Okay, cool. So we have two different workflows. One of them is the one that is as close as I can get to how I do it in DaVinci Resolve, where I just have a clip that's on the timeline, and I could just make a whole bunch of them, and all I have to do is change the text in it. The other is titles. Now, that said, just because this workflow is similar doesn't mean it is superior. It involves me having to chroma key a fucking green slab on my screen, then puts the text on it, which I'm sure that's pretty computationally expensive for a text. I should not have to chroma key the background on my text. That is ridiculous. That's insane. Only other project I can think of is rendering a transparent PNG in 1080p. But like, dude, what? No, that's also horrible. So there's a lot of problems with this workflow. And of course, they're not based on a template. So if I do actually change the templates, I do have to go through every single one of these and do it all over again. Likely changing or like putting all the text back as well, because I'd have to override all of these. Titles also don't seem to keep along with their templates, if Exo's comments or anything to go by. They're way less dynamic. I have to make a big ass bulky clip every single time I want to actually add text down. Like, it's rough. None of these options are particularly good. Neither of them. I'm glad I got something, but shit, dude. This can't be it. This cannot be it. Do I have any other options? Image sequence? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Gonna ignore that. Wait, no, hold on. Image sequence. Is this a slideshow clip? I think it's a slideshow source. What the fuck? Okay. Oh man. Add clipper folder, no. Color clip, been there, done that. If I could make these transparent, this workflow would be significantly better, but it would still have its heavy flaws. It's the expense of the chroma keying that's killing it for me. And again, if I want to do another transform, this is what it does to my frame rate. That's not gonna work. No. Shit. Alright. Lurking while I get pulled aside to install Bazite for someone. That's fire. Hope that goes well. Hope their Bazite experience goes well. I hope they don't want to do video editing in open source software. I need to refresh and rejuvenate myself. I'm dying here. This is misery. I want this to work so badly. If you couldn't tell, that's why I'm doing these streams. I want to push myself to actually make Kdenlive work in my video editing pipeline. Because to be able to migrate huge parts of my creative work to open source is like, it's important to me. And like, yeah, my image editing, I can do that pretty competently in GIMP. In theory, I can do a lot of my design stuff in Inkscape, because that's a vector, like a vector art creation tool. But I don't know the software as well, so we'll see how that goes. And I've been drawing in Krisa for as long as I've been on Linux. I think it was one of the first software, one of the first applications I installed when I switched to Linux last February. And she's been good to me. I like Krisa. You know, I've been using the open source broadcasting software for ages. Long before I switched to Linux. So there's a loss of my pipeline that is open source software, and I really value that. And I'd love to extend that over to Kdenlive, but I think it's just, it needs a lot of tender love and care, you know? So part of me almost wants to donate to Kdenlive specifically, put my money where my mouth is, as it were. But like, what's even happening on the Kdenlive front? Out of curiosity, we're gonna detour ever so slightly to find this out. Let's see here. Get me fucking Kdenlive. Oh my god, I'm so out of it. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's a very out of it day for me, and I think it's only just hitting me. Okay. No, not donate. Where is source? I mean, it's got to be here somewhere, right? Free and open source. There's downloads, daily builds, archives. Not what I'm looking for. Where's the source? Wiki could maybe get me there. Interface improvements. Code. Okay. Oh shit. Get that back, please. Code tree. Inventkde.org. Okay. Cool. That only took way too long. Kdenlive. Yeah, we got some commit history. We got folks working on this. Yeah, that's weird out of time. What do you mean 1st of July came after the 6th of July? Okay, it's getting semi-regular updates. They might not be major, but like it's getting daily commits. That's pretty frequent. I can't complain too much about that, to be completely honest with you. I'd want to know what their roadmap is for Kdenlive, you know? Because I want so badly for it to work, but I need to know that they're gonna address some of the scathing problems that I have with it. You know? Get involved. Oh, there's development. Yeah, okay. Bug triaging. That's a whole deal. Bug reporting. I'm not going to r/Kdenlive on stream. I'm not opening Reddit on stream. That's dangerous. Who knows what I might find there? Official form. Interesting. Okay. The fuck? What? What kind of issue title is this? What do you mean by this? What does that mean? Take a busy clip and use transform to zoom it into an almost pixel level. Render, upload, and repeat. You get some weird shapes with lots of planes of one color. Use sharpen and color tools to make them stand out. Chroma to make any big parts of color transparent. Then you can copy the clip and paste it and flip it, and you get even more complex shapes. I haven't uploaded a moving image to a provider yet, but you get the idea from a JPEG. Space Invaders abstract art. Bro, Kdenlive users aren't even making videos. What are we doing? Oh, good heavens. What's in the community category? What's happening? What are people talking about? Adopt an app is an interesting initiative from KDE. It is really just like, hey, you can give us money to directly allocate to a specific application. Unfortunately, the Adopt an App initiative does not have KDE or Kdenlive in it right now. I don't remember, was it in the previous one? For what it's worth. It might have been, and I've just, like, forgotten. Hard to say. Let's see. Kdenlive release. Yeah, what was the latest release? What did they add? Usual batch of bug fixes and workflow and stability improvements. Highlights include fixes for crashes when undoing sequence creation. Okay. And recording audio without an audio device. As well as improvements to rectangular alpha mask and rotoscoping effects. This release also continues the security hardening efforts of this cycle by preventing unwanted command execution on MLT version. Okay, yeah. Lots of fixes. Yeah. I just realized this is like broad community. Can I get specific for Kdenlive? I can. It's mostly patch notes and plugins. Where credit is due. Let's have a gander. Okay. Yeah, it's someone who actually uses Kdenlive in their workflow. That's fair. Yeah, man. I really want to say this. I really want to say, oh yeah, I had this really great experience with Kdenlive, and like I've now migrated to it. Wait, the fixed typo change had a typo? No. Wait, where was this? Oh my god, it does! It's... Whoops. It's got an uppercase I in there! You can't make that shit up, man. What the fuck? Hi, Julia. Welcome back. I am stricken with Kdenlive. I downloaded the app yesterday, shot some video, and spent this afternoon editing my footage. I am totally impressed with this application. I am no youngin'. Cut my editing teeth on Vegas Video when that application was owned by Sonic Foundry in Wisconsin. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. I think I may have mentioned this in a prior thread. Okay. At any rate, I finished my first K project. I am happy with it and super impressed that such a capable application is available to all of us as free and open source. Have a great day. Yeah. For a bunch of people, I'm sure it works fantastically. It's my specific workflow that it doesn't support all that well, you know? That's the problem. I have sort of specific things that I need my editing software to do, and Kdenlive has a difficult time working with that. And I don't know, could I put in like a feature request or something? Would that solve the issue for me? Let's think about this. So I'm happy with their editing workflow, I think. I haven't given it a lot of time, and I'll be honest, the reason I've pulled away right now is because I've realized I'm actually too tired to work on this, which is really unfortunate. Seriously, go to sleep before midnight, guys. Highly recommend it. Don't do what I did. But besides that, on a normal day, could I actually see myself editing in Kdenlive minus the text issue? Like, if that was fixed, would that make it for me? Oh, no, there's another big problem. It's a glaring problem, too. Keyframes. Keyframes are rough. I'm gonna add it to the list, to be honest. Whoops, I want to go here. And please forgive me again, I'm still fucking learning this keyboard. Keyframes are rough. One keyframe governs all parameters. Whereas the alternative that I want is each parameter should have its own set of keyframes. That is what I would want. That's like my Christmas wish list for Kdenlive, to be honest. So like we gotta deal with text, inserting quick and easy text. I'm gonna reword this to be a bit more constructive, because I'm actually wondering, like, should I... Yeah, you know what? I was gonna ask, should I bother? No, of course I should. I should bother. If I care, if I really care, then I should make sure my voice is heard in a space where it's actually going to be heard. I'm thinking, do I submit a... not bug report, but a feature request, basically, to the Kdenlive maintainers and go like, hey, I'm a VTuber, I have these particular needs of Kdenlive, I really want to integrate it into my workflow, but fuck, it is missing this, and that breaks the way that I do things in like a really big way, and that's not very easy to circumnavigate. So, please, pretty please, whenever you have time. I donate to KDE. It's not enough to fucking pay someone's salary, obviously, but, you know, I really hope that some of my donation can go towards making Kdenlive better, because like all of the other KDE tools that I use from them are pretty fucking fantastic. The desktop is wonderful. Krita is wonderful. It's great. There might be other like KDE adjacent things that I'm forgetting that I'm just so used to now because they're awesome. I don't remember. But I'd really like Kdenlive to get a jazz up, you know? Okay. We're gonna change this. I'm just gonna say keyframes. One keyframe. Track governs all parameters. Each parameter should have its own set of keyframes. I'm gonna give like a hard example here, i.e. position and scale should be independent from one another. I have another issue actually that's come to mind while I was writing that. Anchor points in transforms. So what do I mean by that? I mean, when scaling in Kdenlive, it's you scale from the top left, like the origin point, is the top left. This should be configurable, and ideally centered by default. That's a big one. The fact that we don't have anchor points, that really fucks with me, because I do a lot of lots of various transform effects where I really need it to, say, rotate from a certain point or whatever. And we have a checkbox here for rotate from center, but that's not nearly enough. Like, I need to be able to scale and rotate around specific preset points. There are a number of occasions where I've used that in the past. There are many occasions where I will use that in the future. And Kdenlive lacking that is kind of fucking desperate.
It's time to drink water.
True!
It's time to drink water.
Yeah, that's right. It is time to drink water. You know the deal. If you have water with you, you should drink it. And if you don't have water, you should definitely go get some, because water's good for you. I will drink to that. Right. Okay. How am I gonna word this? Quick text tool or tools. Currently, all not all text is generally added. Yeah, text is generally. How do I say this? Kdenlive, or text in Kdenlive, is provided through titles and the dynamic text effect. The problem is that titles are really cumbersome when used very frequently throughout a large project. Really need to apologize again that I'm typing so slowly, especially for this point where I am literally just typing stuff. It's the new keyboard. It's a really cool keyboard, and I really want to commit to typing on it because I am slowly getting better at it, and this keyboard is just fucking sick. I spent enough money on it, so, you know, it's a whole deal. But I am going to go a little bit slower. Dynamic text. Whoops. Dynamic text is a great effect, I'll be real, but lacks a lot of configurability and is lacks all configurability and is bound to the clip it's placed on. That is a big problem. Let me put periods on this. Cool. What I would love is a dedicated how would I describe this in like Kdenlive ways? Honestly, I tell you what, because what I was thinking of is essentially ask him to add a third pillar for text editing, but that is going to have like horrible scope creep, because then you're having to maintain 3 different ways of putting text down. We should just have one, to be completely honest. In a perfect world, we should only have one way of putting text in a project, and it should be good at all of the things that you want to do with text. So I think what I might be asking for in my heart of hearts is the amount of configurability that I have here with a title clip, but rather than just being tucked away in here, I get it in the effects, in the effect stack. So every title clip, like we can still have this like dedicated window for, you know, perusing through everything, but I should at least be able to change the contents of the text in my effects group, basically, is what I'm asking for. And it shouldn't be its own dedicated media clip. Like, fuck, this is so rough, dude. Maybe if you're making a title from scratch, but I think if you base it off a template, it shouldn't have to create a new media clip. It should just pull from the source templates clip and then just change the text and whatever other parameters. Like, so it's an append. It's an append derived situation, if that makes sense, hopefully. Okay. Titles could, IMO should. Oh my god, I completely fucked that up. There we go. Hello, man. Hitting you on this keyboard. Not used to it. Titles could. If based on template titles, not be represented as an entirely separate clip in the media bin. But rather, I don't know, we'll call it like a virtual clip maybe? That derives from a template and appends any modified attributes on top. Okay, Let me quickly read through those again. Quick text tools. Currently, text in Kdenlive is provided through titles and the dynamic text effect. Titles are really cumbersome and used very frequently throughout a large project. Notably, they consume space in the media pool and thus must be organized manually. And editing the text requires opening a whole window. Whole dialogue window. Dynamic text is a great effect, but lacks a lot of configurability and is bound to the clip it's placed on. So yeah, it's very limited. In that respect, it's very limited. Titles could, IMO should, if based on templates titles, not be represented as an entirely separate clip in the media bin, but rather a virtual clip that derives from a template and appends any modified attributes on top. I don't actually mind if regular titles remain the way they are. Let me add that. Not derived from, oh my god, any specific templates. You know what? I think it's, just thinking about my keyboard and my hand placements, I think my problem is that I'm trying to shift my fingers all the way along the keyboard when I should just be moving them up and down for the vast majority of movements, and I'm not used to that. Not even remotely. Food for thought. I should probably look up a video or something on like how people get used to ortholinears. Probably make my life a lot easier if I had like some advice to work off of. Special for regular titles not derived from any specific templates remain unchanged at this point. I have my own templates that I'm very happy with. Another issue that I can think of. It's a minor gripe. I would like a bind, not a bind. I would like if when dragging a clip while holding a modifier, i.e. Alt, it's copied the clip to wherever I drag it. No, it would generate a copy of the clip and drag that where I want it instead. Definitely going to need to spend some time tidying up this feedback, but whatever. I'm writing this all now essentially to collect my thoughts because they are still a little bit all over the place and abstract. So I'm trying to log this in particular so that I can actually maybe present it to someone in the Kdenlive community who might have some thoughts or even be able to do something about it, you know? That would be really, really cool. I pressed the wrong key. I'm trying to save. I'm gonna ignore crashes. Well, okay, hold on. Tell you what, I'm gonna change this format slightly. Oh my god, can we? There we go. Let's do. What am I gonna call this? Wish list. We'll call it wish list. I was gonna say suggestions, but no, wish list. gonna ignore the thing with effects right now, like one at a time, and I'm gonna go for the most important things at the top first. And also, it's saying, hey, I don't like these effects, I think we should get rid of them, is probably not going to be a very appreciated piece of feedback, because some people might be using the effects. Just because I don't care about them doesn't mean they don't matter. They just don't matter to me, and that's okay. I could ignore them. So that's fine. Bugs with stacked effects. Look, yeah, man, 1 outline and then 2 transforms is enough to cook timeline performance. That is an interesting one. I will mark that as a bug. Specific bugs. Let's do a clip with 1 outline and 2 transforms cripples timeline performance. There we go. That's a specific bug. That's something I could actually just report and it not be like a whole thing that needs discussing. Like that would be a triage and then hopefully it gets fixed. Can't change project resolution while inside the project. I think we did address that. It just warned me not to. Can't have sequences of varying resolutions in a project. Yeah, tell you what, I'm gonna add this. Projects with multiple sequence resolutions. When editing a long video, I may often want to create a shorter video in the same project intended for vertical mobile screens. Currently, Kdenlive. Oh my god, I'm typing too fast and clumsily. Kdenlive only supports. Only allows you to have 1 resolution for all sequences in a project. Yeah. And I'll just add as like a final point just to wrap it. The add sequence dialog should allow for setting resolutions that are different from the main project, and as it is sequence resolution in general should not be tied to the whole project. It's just limiting, to be honest. There might be like a really big technical reason as to why it is that way, but unfortunately a lot of other editing softwares do allow you to have varying sequence resolutions. So I can't help you there, man. Like it's officially just a missing feature, so that is really important to me. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna drop that one. Okay, wish list. Quick text tools. Currently, text in Kdenlive is provided through titles and the dynamic text effect. Titles are really cumbersome when used very frequently throughout a large project. Real quick, can I change my font? Can I make this like a slightly more readable font? This isn't really what case is meant for. I would just like a plain text document that isn't monospace for this case, but whatever. Okay. Yeah. Currently, text in Kdenlive is provided through titles and the dynamic text effect. Titles are really cumbersome and used very frequently throughout a large project. Notably, they consume space and media pool and thus must be organized manually, and editing the text requires opening a whole dialog window. Dynamic text is a great effect, but lacks a lot of configurability and is bound to the clip it's placed on. In that respect, it's very limited. Titles should, if based on template titles, not be represented as an entirely separate clip in the media bin, but rather a virtual clip on the timeline that derives from a template and appends any modified attributes on top. And I will be specific, i.e. Text content, color, transform properties, etc. Let's do like that. Whoops. I don't actually mind if regular titles, not derived from any specific template, remain unchanged at this point. I have my own templates that I'm very happy with. Keyframes. One keyframe track governs all parameters. Each parameter should have its own set of keyframes. For example, position and scale should be independently should be animatable? Is that a word? I don't know if there's no, there isn't spell check in case, I don't think. I had another typo elsewhere and I didn't or anything. Huh. I should be able to animate position and scale independent from one another. Yeah. Anchor points and transforms. When scaling in Kdenlive, the origin point is the top left. Is generally. I think there's some weird cases where this isn't the case, but with the transform effect, it is pretty much always top left as I understand it. Because like you can do the whole what is it? If I go to transform and I do scale, like it scales from the center, sure, but I'm pretty sure if I actually go in here and I configure width, yeah, it does it from the left, which is not right. And if I do height, it does it from the top, which is also not right. That's bad. I don't like that. It makes me sad. Yeah. I would like if when dragging a clip while holding a modifier, for example Alt, it would generate a copy of the clip and drag that where I want it instead. That's just, yeah, makes my life faster. I just hold Alt, I click drag clip, it's there. That'd be perfect. Projects with multiple sequence resolutions. When editing a long video, I may often want to create a shorter video in the same project intended for vertical mobile screens. Currently, Kdenlive only allows you to have one resolution for all sequences in a project. The Add Sequence dialog should allow for setting resolutions that are different from the main project. Sequence resolution in general should not be tied to the whole project. I think DaVinci Resolve is slightly guilty of this. So they do let you have sequences with different resolutions, I believe. I think. Might need to double check that. I hope I'm right there. It's been a while since I've opened DaVinci. What can I say? Just going somewhere with that. Oh man, this sleep deprivation is rough. Right. It was some setting where it was project wide. I think it was, maybe it was resolution. Or is it frame rate? It might have been frame rate. And DaVinci Resolve just wouldn't let you change it if you have already made a sequence or a composition, I think is what they call it there. Hold on. I actually can open DaVinci Resolve on my laptop here. Let's see. What does it look like here? Yeah, you don't need to go through all those effects. Okay, you're gonna do it anyways. That's fine. We'll give that a sec just to spin up. You want to access files managed by Nextcloud? Go crazy, man. Go crazy. Oh, yeah, that entire project's missing everything. That makes sense. Well, I made that video a while ago. It's the Digital Circus cover video, actually, is what I have open. It's just the only thing that exists on this laptop at the moment. Okay. So, there's media pool editing. Here we are. Timeline settings. I can change the resolution. Did they change this? Am I talking out of my ass? Do I not know what I'm talking about? Or has something changed? Oh, no. Timeline frame rate. That's the problem. If you get your timeline frame rate wrong, well, that sucks, bucko. You've already made your bed, now shit in it, or whatever. You can render at varying frame rates, I believe, for what it's worth. So like you can go 60 and then downscale it to 30 for certain clips if you want. I think. Yes, you can do this. But that's not great, right? The fact that you can't change it. Well, okay. Giving some credit to DaVinci, or Blackmagic. Sorry, DaVinci Resolve is the DaVinci Resolve is Blackmagic's monster. For what it's worth, fucking around with frame rates in an existing project is quite volatile and can really fuck up like all of your keyframes. I've done that before, back when I was using Premiere even, and that really, really fucked my shit up. It was not pleasant. And see, in Kdenlive, though, it seems like they do allow me to change sequence resolution. I'll tell you what, I'll save the project here. Let's go clip properties. Nope, not clip properties. Where the hell did I do that? Oh, right, because it's not on the clip. My bad. It's under project settings. Let's say I set this to be... Where's 1080p? Full HD, 1080. Give me 60 FPS on that. FPS 60. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, that helps a lot, actually. And let's say we do this. Save your project for attempting this operation. Yep, that's fine. Cool. It's now vertical, and wow, that did break a lot of shit, huh? Oh god. Can you believe this is horribly fucked up and broken? Yep, that's broken. But it did let me do that. So that's good. But I can't, in this project, edit my, say, my long form video and shorts in the same place. There's no way for me to do that, from what I can tell. And that is unfortunate. That's not gonna work for me. Not in the slightest. No siree. 1080p portrait, put that back. Let's see how much this fucked up my shit. Wait, did that actually just work? Oh, it might have just worked. Okay. Bet, I guess. That's nice. What is this actually? Because I have music in here. Let's have a gander. Oh, right. So I had this Metopia music, and over it, the idea was I was going to throw Ardoodle in front, or like, you know, just have my VideoTube overlaid. And I was going to kind of yap about how the drink water redeems work. I think that was the idea. Got a blur. Let's say Gaussian. And we're going to... Oh, right. I'd need it on both. Okay. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to make this... No, Bazining was a failure. How was it a failure? That's unfortunate. Where the hell? Go. Let me drink water real quick. I need water. I'm thirsty and tired. USB too small? Bazite's image is like 8 gigs. It is, of the Linux distros, it is a pretty fat one, to be fair. That's unfortunate, though. That's crazy it took that long to find out that Bazite doesn't work on that drive. Yeah, these days, kind of no matter what, even if you are just getting a Linux distro, I would recommend like a 16 gig drive for installing your boot images. Was also just helping with spring clean on the drive. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. You know, for the migration. Makes sense. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to rename this clip to just edit. And we're going to make a new clip, new sequence, just called final. And yeah, I could just throw edit on here. And the idea is I rip out this track with the watermark on it. Assuming it lets me. Hello? Oh, it's a locked track. Boo. Yeah, that makes sense. Then we go to final. And right over here, I paste. Okay, man. Right-click paste works. Cool. And I'll throw Gaussian blur just on top of the whole damn thing. Over here. Sigma! Oh, I understand. What if I did box blur? That's probably more performance, right? Did I disable all effects? I did. My bad. I'm not looking at what I'm doing. Yeah, box blur does not look that good. It's a cheap and easy blur for a reason. Average blur? The fact that I can't just press a button and have these sync with each other, that's also really rough. Don't enjoy that. Oh, square blur. That's something, I guess. It looks shit at scale, though. Smart blur. Oh, God. No. No, thank you. Nope. Way too complicated. Nope. Fucking Gaussian it is. It's fine. Keyframes in here are, like, whatever. It's fine. And we'll make another keyframe here. Set our Sigma 40. This one to be 40. We'll go a bit further. Give me 100. 100 less. 60. Perchance. Yeah, that looks fine. And this should be 60 as well. Oh, navigating this keyboard. Kdenlive Vaseline filter, yeah. Oh, and does it look that bad because it's a proxy clip? Blurring already kind of blurry and fucked up video probably does look weird. Okay. Wow, we made so little progress. I mean, like, to be fair, to give myself some credit, I have managed to figure out a solution for making the text more quickly. I have not, however, landed on a solution for text that I'm actually happy with despite this. This is insanely hacky. Oh, May, yeah. I don't know if you were here for this. So I did figure out a way to quickly throw text onto a clip without having to make, or throw text into a sequence without making a whole fucking configurable media title or title clip or whatever. The approach is fucked. It involves getting a green clip, full green, and then putting a chroma key on it, putting on dynamic text as an effect, and then putting on my outline and transform. It ends up being as close as I can possibly get to my text editing workflow on, or my caption subtitle, whatever, man. Yeah, we'll say subtitle. It gets as close to my subtitling workflow as I possibly can from what I have on Kdenlive, without but there's still so many concessions. It's really, really rough. Notably, yeah, like, this is scuffed. This is weird and cringe. So ideally, I would just have a color clip that has a transparent color. Unfortunately, you can't change the alpha values on the colors, and Aridoodle has crashed again. So I have to fix her now. There we go. She's back. Rejoice. So this is terrible. But it is as close as I can possibly get. I have many other gripes. I've written some things. I have a big ol' wish list. The biggest part of my wish list is text, because this is genuinely, like, deal breaker right now is the text workflow. That's exhausting to deal with. That's horrible. Keyframes are pretty busted. You can read there. It's busted. Anchor points to transforms, it's just not configurable. By default, it's scaling from top left. You have to use other weird jank methods in the UI to get it to scale from center. That's really bad. Oh, sorry, no, it's not jank methods in UI, but you know, you basically have two options: scale from top left or scale from center in the cases where they let you do that. It's really bad. Oh yeah, dragging a clip while holding a modifier should just copy the clip. That would be nice. I would appreciate that. I'm sure Katie recognized that kind of thing is useful because they literally allow you to do that in their file browser, so... oh yeah, and projects can't have sequences with multiple resolutions. Yeah. So, that's fairly self-explanatory, I hope. So, in a full project, like, okay, this project is a 1080p project, specifically a 1080p portrait project. But let's say I was editing a long-form video that is in horizontal 1080p. I now want to make a short and vertical, but I kind of can't, because I can't make, like, if I go into sequences, add clip, add sequence, this is all I get to configure. I can't change the resolution of this sequence. If I go into clip properties for this, I get to edit the timecode offsets. That's it. There's nothing else that I can do here. And that's not good. That's not particularly useful to me, unfortunately. Yeah. Rough experience. I really wish I could have done more. This definitely went a lot better than the Kdenlive stream of week or week before, something like that. I think it was week before. It's phenomenally better, especially now that I figured out, oh yeah, I can do like my usual jog and cut editing. This is fantastic. Assuming it moves. Hello? Or... Yeah? Yeah? Okay. I'm hearing you. So that's pretty bad. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. Yeah. I like the cut editing workflow. I like the jog. It's what I remember picking up. Funny enough, this is something I only picked up in more recent times while I was editing the Peak video, I think. Peak, and I think I was using its... Was I using that workflow yet for Easy Delivery Company? I actually don't know if I knew how to do that yet. I definitely knew how to do jog cut editing for Peak, because I remember seeing how long of a video that was going to be to make, and I was like, okay, no, I'm going to need a dedicated workflow to make this happen as quickly as possible. And then I stumbled upon that in a tutorial somewhere. So I'm very glad it exists in Kdenlive. I really, really appreciate that. There's other things that I do appreciate. I could maybe do with writing a list of other things that I do actually like. It's open source. It's an open source video editor that's free. That's huge. That's really fucking huge. And it's heartbreaking that there are a lot of things outside of that that unfortunately outweigh that benefit. There's a lot of downsides that outweigh that benefit is my problem. Yeah, that's why I wrote all of this stuff, because I do actually want to bring this to whoever is working on Kdenlive, I guess, and go, hey, really cool software. I'm so glad this exists rather than doesn't, but I personally am going to have a very, very difficult time transitioning to this or migrating to this until these glaring issues are fixed. And they're big feature issues for the most part. I've tried to tame my feature request for text, because I don't want them to just add a third way of making text. We have the titles. These are pretty fucking solid, but they're really cumbersome. That's the biggest problem that I have. They are extremely cumbersome. This approach is less cumbersome, but more limited. So like, fuck, dude. What I think we should have is the best of both worlds, and ideally just one way of making text. You have... It basically... It's give me what we already have, but take out all the shit that I don't like and add in the shit that I do want. Which is... Yeah, obviously. Really, my God, my brain is so cooked. I'm so sorry. Basically, what I'm getting at is like, yeah, don't just make another way of putting text in a project. Improve the existing ones, because you do actually have something really solid here. It just needs more in it for me to be able to use it, is essentially what I'm getting at. And then, you know, all the other issues I previously discussed. I will eventually... so this is just a document on my desktop. I will not lose this. This will be in front of me every time I boot up my PC. At some point, I will actually make a post or feature request, whatever avenue I need to go, to, I know, appeal to the devs and go, hey, like I said, I want to use this software. I really, really like that it exists. I would like to put my money where my mouth is when it comes to open source software and go, yeah, I, a VTuber, can edit my videos in Kdenlive and it's fine, right? Because I take quite a bit of pride in the fact that I could say, hey, I'm a VTuber on Linux, period. That's really cool to me. I really, really appreciate that. And like, I love using open source software in my work, because open source tools are like that's freedom. That's free tools. And with free tools, you can create lots of really, really cool shit. Like, just in my between my bar down here and my launcher over here, right? Of the tools that I use in my regular day-to-day that in some way work towards my business, quote unquote, right? As a VTuber, my career. So Firefox, most browsers are open source, to be fair. That's not that much. Thunderbird, also open source, I understand it. My calendar, that's open source. Strawberry, my music player that I'm using right now, that's open source. Obsidian for notes, I actually don't think that is open source. RIP. I mean, I'm using Kate right now, I guess. That's open source. Oh yeah, in here. OBS. Fucking OBS! Dude, I take for granted very often how this is open source software. This is insanely fucking cool software. One of the most successful open source projects I've ever seen in my life. It is so successful that people don't talk about the fact that it is open source. They just understand it to be a thing that exists and is good and everyone else uses it. That's it. Krita, since I switched to Linux, I have been using this for drawing. And I want to try out painting at some point in the future. That would be also very cool. I'd like to experiment with different art styles. But Krita is great. I like Krita. CBS, closed broadcaster software. GIMP. The reason I am dicking around with Kdenlive today is because I did a stream like 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, something like that, where I used GIMP to make my VOD thumbnails. And it worked great. I am happy with my experience. There are some concessions to be made, but they don't impact my workflow. So I can still make it work perfectly fine. I'm going to discount ones that I'm not actively using right now. LibreOffice I do actually use quite a bit. I'm using LibreOffice Writer to write stuff that I'm thinking about for future stuff that I want to make. Calc, I actually have an income and expenses spreadsheet for like my VTubing stuff. So that's really, really fucking useful. Also just my own personal balance sheet. Blender is fucking peem. I can't open Blender right now because I don't want to, well, I can. It's an empty project, I think, by default, but I don't want to risk it. Blender is fucking fantastic. I have been dicking around in Blender on and off for ages, and I am really, really excited to do more stuff with Blender. Blender will become a pretty big part of the stuff that I do at some point in the future in some way. Just you wait. So like, yeah, I love open source software and I love that it exists. I want to use it more. And I really, really want to give Kdenlive a chance. And I guess between this stream and last I did. So mission successful. I just didn't come out with the conclusion that I wanted, unfortunately. On the upside, I now do have a laundry list of things that explain why I'm having problems. And I'm hopefully breaking these down into semi-actionable steps. I'm sure these are fairly lofty things that I'm asking for in some cases. Like, okay, clip dragging thing, that's probably pretty easy. Anchor points and transforms, I don't know what the code for that looks like. Maybe that would be a massive undertaking. The keyframe situation, that could also be a massive undertaking. Projects with multiple sequence resolutions, I might just be breaking projects by asking for something like that. Everything to do with text, which is my number one issue right now. Like, fuck, it's rough. But I have no idea how much effort that's going to be, which is why I spend so much time in here going like, okay, here's how I would like it to be implemented. Hopefully you're able to do this. Thanks, XOXO, you know? I want to be able to say I'm a VTuber using Kdenlive and it's sweet. That's it. I just want to do that. I want to make it work. And unfortunately, I don't know if I'd have the time or expertise. I think it's mostly an expertise thing, to be completely honest with you. I don't know their code base. It's C++, I believe. That's fine. I'd have to set up a build environment or a dev environment for it and everything. There's so much that would go into me adding in some of the features that I want to see. It is, at this point, because I am only one person, it's so much easier to just give them more money in donations and just go, please put someone on my wish list. I will give you money. I will pay you to develop this software further. Because, I mean, hey, look, these are things that would benefit me, but they would also benefit everyone else in the space. Like, I'm kind of picky when it comes to art style, right? I want to make my videos a certain way, and if I can't make them a certain way, I ditch the tool and I go find a different one that can do it for me, or I get really upset if I've run out of alternatives. So if Kdenlive could support the things that I want to do, I feel like it could support what a lot of other people in my position want to do. So that's what I want for myself and for everyone else. And I don't know, I want to do something about it. Anyways, rant's over. We did not get a whole lot of video editing done, but I kind of had that coming at this rate. So we're gonna wrap it up here because good heavens, I was just trying to run the 2-hour clock as best as I could because I'm dying. Sleep wise, again, everyone make sure to get good sleep. Highly recommend it. Couldn't recommend it enough. Let me keep Kdenlive stuff open in another tab just so I remember to go poke at that a little bit later. But on that delightful and very sleep-deprived note, I'm going to send you off to a raid. We're going to raid someone. Wow, not a lot of people I follow are streaming on Thursdays. That's interesting. Who do I want to go for? Okay, apparently a couple people are playing Assassin's Creed right now. Was there a new Assassin's Creed game that dropped? Is that what happened? There's also a KDE dev working on a replacement for Kdenlive. Replacements? They're looking to supersede it. Kdenlive replacements. I gotta see if I can find something about this. What? Okay, no, that is a fork of Kdenlive that's been dead for 2 years. Plasma Studio. Well, good grief. Let me have a gander. Okay, no, that's just different software. Entirely. Plasma Studio KDE. Wow, you're not lying that it is early. I can't find anything on this. It's on the Invent KDE Git. Interesting. Oh, wait. Yo, that's a devlog, I think. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up just for my own quick gander here. I have it muted right now. Oh, wait, I'm on my VOD channel, I just realized. Let me switch to my main real quick. Skim through a little bit. This is a 50-minute video. I will be watching this later. Okay, so they have KDE open. They're showing like the issues they've got with it. Tell you what, I will show this. Screen looks fine. Cool. Yeah, showing off KDE. I guess going through the problems. Yep. There's a lot in here. I'm definitely going to add this to watch later. But I kind of want to see what is it that they're doing. Okay, that's an entirely different tool, I'm pretty sure. Or... interesting. Ooh, node graph. I saw a node graph. Interesting. Huh. How old is this? 2 months ago. Good heavens. Okay. Best to ever do it, baby. Thank you, YouTube. My beloved. You goofy goober, aren't you? Yeah, okay. I didn't see anything in there that looked like a video editor, but that did look like Node Graph. And that's cool because node graphs are just cool. Blender shaders are cool. DaVinci Resolve's a node graph editor is pretty cool. I have some gripes with how DaVinci Resolve works in that regard, but you know, generally I think it's better than what you've got in Premiere Pro, and it's very customizable. I'm a big fan of that. Cool. I've added both of the devlogs to my watch later. I will absolutely be watching those later. Thank you for sharing. I'm excited to hear about that. That's very, very cool. Right. On that note, oh my goodness, I need to send y'all somewhere. I'm so tired. Let's just get this over with. On the channel, there's a 20-minute shorter one as a summary. Nice. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for joining, and thank you for putting up with my slight delirium. Apparently, a lot of people are doing art fights. That's very cool. What do we want to go to? I'm gonna like specifically pick someone with like an LGBTQ tag. Because I want to find other queer ally folks. Where do we want to go? I'm kind of just scrolling through until I find an art style that looks cool. But unfortunately, because we're scrolling through, you know, people that are currently working on the art, it's usually not complete or it's at an awkward angle. So it gets a little bit difficult to make out. Okay, hold on. How many transgenders do we have in here? We'll shoot to one of our own. Not that many. Interesting. And, okay, a lot of these are just like entirely different games. Same category, similar or smaller size. Ooh, wait, yeah, those are really good filters. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, sweet. Fuck it. I think this was cool. Let's jump on someone who has 5 viewers. That'd be funny. Cool. Going to Torasagi Pixie, I think, is the name. I hope that's how it's pronounced. We're gonna raid them. Everyone, thank you so much again for sticking around. Hope you had a good time. Hope you have a lovely rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you hail from. I am so tired. I'm going to go get food and then go to sleep. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.